Today we're going to talk about looking for employment. But before we do that, we're going to look at a little math thing called a piecewise function here. So these are a little bit different than what most people have seen before. It's a function that's made up of two other things. So if you look at this part, this is just a line. This is the line 4x minus 7. This is a parabola, x squared plus 2x. And we're going to use part of each one of those things. And we're going to use the line when the x's are less than 3. And we're going to use the parabola when x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so for this first part, we're just going to evaluate it. Okay, which means we're going to put 2 into this function. So we're going to find f of 2. Now I look over here and I said, well, 2 is less than 3, so that means I'm going to use this one right here. So that means it's going to be 4 times 2 minus 7, which is 8 minus 7, which is 1. So f of 2 is 1. Next, I'm going to find f of 3. Well, I look over here. This is only used when x is less than 3, but this is equal to 3, so that means I'm going to use this one, because x is going to be greater than or equal to 3, so I'm going to go ahead and plug the 3 into this. It's going to be 3 squared plus 2 times 3, which is going to be 9 plus 6, which is 15. And then finally, I'm going to find f of 4. The 4 is definitely bigger than 3, so again, I'm going to use the parabola here. So this is going to be 4 squared plus 2 times 4, which is 16 plus 8, which is 24. So that's how you evaluate a piecewise function. Okay, let's talk about jobs. So you need to list 3 ways that you can find a job. And what I'll have you do is just kind of pause the video here, write down 3 ways, and then once you've got your 3 ways, unpause it and come back. Okay, some of the ways that you can find a job. Definitely word of mouth. Okay, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So that's one way to find a job. If you know a lot of people, that might be a good way for you to find a job. You can look online. So there's all kinds of websites that help you find a job. You can post your resume. Indeed.com is one of them. Monster.com. There's bunches of them. The third way, you can go look door to door. It might be that somebody has a sign on their window, hiring now. That would be a way that you could go find a job and walk in and apply. In fact, some standards are so bad. My son and I walked into a dollar store at one point. My son was kind of looking for a job, and I had suggested, hey, maybe you should apply for a job here. And they said, we only have one qualification. Do you promise to show up for work? They had gone through the process of hiring a bunch of people, and then they just never even showed up, which is crazy. Okay, here's another one. An employment agency. Okay, a common way to look for work. An employment agency is also called a recruitment agency or a temp agency. These businesses have lists of job openings. Sometimes they specialize in specific types of fields, and sometimes they place candidates in a wide variety of roles. Okay, so you can go work for the go to the employment agency. They'll find you a job. They usually get a cut of your salary for a while. How do you suppose employment agencies make money? I just said that, okay? they receive a portion of your income for a specified time. Or sometimes they just charge a fee. There's also companies called headhunter companies, where they go look for employees for businesses. Julianne was looking for work after graduating from college and found a posting that fit her skill set on Monster.com. The job pays a yearly salary of $41,000. So the 41K, the K means basically 41,000. What is the weekly salary based on this annual salary? Well, the first thing you need to know is how many weeks are there in a year? So the annual salary, 41,000, there's 52 weeks in a year. So 41,000 divided by 52 is $788.46 a week. What does the salary of 41K mean? It means $41,000 per year. How do you find the weekly salary on an annual salary of 41,000? You divide by 52. Divide the annual salary by 52 weeks. Rocky posted his resume on LinkedIn and was approached by an employer about a job that pays $67.3K annually. What is the monthly salary based on annual salary? Okay, so remember $67.3K, that's going to be $67,300 a year. And it's monthly salary, so we're going to divide by 12. So 67,300 divided by 12 is $5,608.33 a month. Very simple. Dylan worked through Flex Employment, a recruitment agency used by Nike, and was placed on a marketing role in Nike sportswear. The job pays $900 a week, but Flex has a 20% placement fee of his first 4 weeks' pay. How much money must Dylan pay the agency? So we're going to find the total pay that Dylan will receive through Nike through his first 4 weeks. Okay, so he gets $900 a week. 900 times 4 is $3,600. Okay, now Flex gets 20% of that. So 3,600 times 0.2 is $720. So that's how much they're going to make off of that. Dylan's got to pay the agency $720. So we found 20% of the amount above. That's this right here. Okay, so Flex finds you a job at Nike working their golf division. Same 20% fee of your first 4 weeks' pay applies to this job as well. If you make $1,005 a week, how much will you owe them at the end of the month? Okay, so 1,005 times 4 weeks is $4,020. Okay, you're going to owe them 20%, so times 0.2. It's going to be $804. Ken is a mechanic who owns J&M Body Shop on McLaughlin Boulevard. He needs a foreign car and is placing a 12-line ad on Monster.com. The cost of an ad of X lines long is given by the following piecewise function. So, it's $56 for 4 lines or less. It's $56 plus $6 times X minus 4 when X is greater than 4. So, basically, what they're saying is it's $56 for the first 4 lines, and it's $6 for each additional line after that. Find the cost of Ken's 12-line ad. Okay, well, 12 is definitely bigger than 4, so we're going to use this part of the equation here. Okay, so it would be 56 plus 6 times 12 minus 4, which is 56 plus 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48, so this is 56 plus 48, which would be $104. Find the cost of a 3-line ad. Well, 3 is less than 4, so it's just going to be a flat $56. If it's a 1-line ad, it's $56. If it's a 2-line ad, it's $56. If it's a 3-line ad, it's $56. If it's a 4-line ad, it's $56. Then the price starts to creep up after that. Find the cost of a 20-line ad. So here's what I would do. Put this video on pause. Figure out what the 20-line ad is going to cost. Come back here and we'll do it together. Okay, a 20-line ad, it's going to definitely be down here. So it's going to be 56 plus 6 times 20 minus 4. Or 56 plus 6 times 16. 6 times 16 is 96. And 56 plus 96 is going to be 152. Okay. Miller's Printing Services charges $49.95 to print 200 high-quality business cards. Each additional set of 100 cards costs $14. Express the cost C of X, of printing X sets of 100 cards as a piecewise function. The printing service charges for multiple of 100 cards only. So if you think in sets of 100 copies, 300 copies of cards represents 3 sets. Okay, so this is the first part of this is very simple. It's going to charge you $49.95, $49.95 if X, the number of sets, is less than or equal to 2. Okay, then the next part is the trickier part. So it's going to cost you $49.95 plus an additional $14 times X minus 2. We want to take away the first 2 because those are already included in this. And that's when X is going to be greater than 2. So usually I like to put these out here where they kind of stand out together. And there's your function. How much would the total charges be if a company wanted 1,200 business cards printed? Okay, well the first thing I would do is figure out 1,200, how many sets of 100 is that? So 1,200 divided by 100 is 12 sets. Okay, now I'm going to look at my equation here. It's definitely going to be on the bottom part of this thing. I'm going to find C of 12. So that's going to be 49.95 plus 14 times 12 minus 2. Okay, so 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 times 14 is 140. So this is going to be $49.95 plus $140, or $189.95. Okay, you own a business and you're trying to get flyers printed out for a grand opening sale coming up. The printing company charges you $100 for the first 500 flyers that you create and an additional $39.99 for each 100 that you have printed. Create a piecewise function to represent the total cost C of X of your flyers. Okay. So this is pretty common where they charge you more for the first set because they've got setup and stuff that they've got to do. And then once they've got it set up, then you can print off stuff really easy. So let's see, they're going to charge you $100 for the first 500 flyers. So we're going to think about these in groups of 100. So it's going to be $100 when X is less than or equal to 5. And then it's going to be $100 plus 39.99 times the additional ones. So I got to take out the first 5. So I'm going to take the number that I sell minus 5, and then it's going to be X is greater than 5. So you're going to have 1,700 flyers printed. How much would your total charge be? Show your work below. So I'll give you a second to pause the video here, work out how much the 1,700 flyers are going to cost you, and then pop back on here and start it up, and we'll take a look together. Okay, so 1,700 flyers. They come in batches of 100. So we're going to go ahead and divide that by 100, and we get 17. So I got 17 batches. It's definitely, if I find C of 17, I want the bottom equation here. Okay, that's going to be $100 for the first 5, plus $39.99 for the rest of them. So this is going to be 12 times $39.99 plus 100. So I get out my calculator, $39.99 times 12 plus 100. This is going to come out to be $579.88. Flying Pie Pizzeria is making shirts for their staff with their logo screen printed on them. They use Four Seasons screen printing on McLaughlin Boulevard to get their shirts made. Four Seasons charges $75 for the first 5 shirts and an additional $25 for every additional shirt. Create a piecewise function for the total cost of the shirts below, and then evaluate it to find out how much the total cost C of X would be for 4, 15, and 30 shirts. So I'll let you pause the video here, kind of work on this one for a minute, come up with your answer, and then you can unpause it and check your answer against what I get. Okay, so we're going to look at this. They charge $75 for the first 5 shirts. So it's going to be 75 right here for X less than or equal to 5 shirts. Now, they do these in groups of 5, and they charge $25 for each 5 additional shirts. So this is going to be $75 plus 25 times X minus the first 5 shirts, where X is greater than, oh, you know what, this is not correct, because we got to think about these in groups of 5. So 5 shirts, that's a group of 1. Okay. So then each additional shirt okay, and again, we got to think in groups of 5. So create a piecewise function. All right, so for 4 shirts is going to be less than a group. Okay, so like I said, 4 shirts, that would be less than a group of 1. So that's going to cost $75. And I should probably make that as a group of 1. Okay, 15 shirts is going to be 3 groups. So that's going to be C of 3. So that's going to be this equation here. So it's going to be 75 plus 25 times 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 times 25 is 50, plus 75 is $125. Okay, finally, 30 shirts. That's going to be, if I put those in groups of 5, that's going to be 6 groups. So I'm going to find C of 6. So that's going to be 75 plus 25 times 6 minus 1 is 5. That's going to be 125 plus 75 is going to be $200. Okay. Now, you're going to do the last few pages, or the first page 7 and 8 of your packet. It'll look like this. Where's page 7? Here's page 8. And I will see you next class.